house prices continue to drop, selling can be a hard slog.
Don't worry about what's happening in the marketplace, it's what's happening here and now.
The auctioneer's calls for opening bids fell flat.
You're looking for an opening bid of 1.5 million.
And kept falling.
At 1 million, I'll go to 900, but then I won't go any further.
The Canberra property didn't sell.
In all honesty, a lot of them have passed in, but I have sold them within 2 or 3 week period.
It's a similar story on the other side of the country.
800, I love an opportunist, but we're so far away from that, sir, you wouldn't be even a starter.
The owners of this 5-bedroom house in Perth didn't get the price they wanted.
Thanks kindly for turning out. Have a ripper weekend.
Nationally, house prices dropped 1% in November and 3.2% over the year. The median property value is just over $714,000. Brisbane and Hobart led the falls, followed by Sydney, Canberra, the regions, Melbourne and Adelaide. Perth was flat while values in Darwin edged higher.
The rate of decline has been shrinking month to month. I don't think this is so much a recovery in housing market conditions. I think it's the initial shock of rapid rate rises wearing off.
CoreLogic's head of research says home values across the country are on average still up 17% since the start of the pandemic.
Now, there's a lot of variation in that. If you look at a city like Adelaide, values are 43% higher than they were at the onset of COVID. But in a city like Melbourne, values are sitting just 2.8% higher.
Hey Matthew, how are you? Good, yourself? See you mate, this is it.
As values decline, more vendors are worried about forking out for an expensive marketing campaign.
This was all like a 70s or 80s style kitchen.
Instead, couples like this are selling off-market, which means their agent will only show the property to serious buyers.
If it doesn't sell, you can get feedback on your price range, on anything you need to do to the house to make improvements, to make it more attractive to buyers.
Will property prices recover in 2023? The answer to that largely depends on the Reserve Bank. Every interest rate hike reduces the amount people can borrow and pay for a property. It also increases the repayments of existing borrowers. Property analyst Louis Christopher thinks a cash rate above 4% would be dangerous territory for heavily indebted mortgage borrowers.
We would definitely see a lot more property owners having to sell their home in the marketplace, and that would definitely force down prices.
Mr Christopher thinks properties in most capital cities will avoid falls in 2023, with gains as high as 9% in Sydney. He thinks migration will also push up prices for apartments.
The unit market, we believe, will be driven by rising rents. Of course, the increase in underlying demand, which is predominantly going to be driven by a surge in permanent long-term arrivals.
That's left Camilla Rillstone worried. A 2-bedroom unit where she lives still costs about $1 million.
We have been saving to buy property for about 2 years now.
Reduced borrowing power means her dream of buying near the beach is further out of reach.
Both myself and my partner work full-time, and yeah, we definitely didn't think it would be as difficult as it is to get a foot on the property ladder, especially in our early 30s, but there you go, here we are.
That means it'll be back to the future for Camilla and her partner. They're moving in with his dad to save up for a bigger house deposit.